How does a man facing multiple criminal and civil trials surge in political support? Welcome to the Trump paradox. In a twist of political irony, former President Donald Trump, despite being embroiled in numerous legal battles, has seen a significant uptick in support within the Republican Party. In a twist of political irony, former President Donald Trump, despite being embroiled in numerous legal battles, has seen a significant uptick in support within the Republican Party. This surge is so pronounced that he's on track to become the first Republican to clinch 3 consecutive presidential nominations. In the face of adversity, Trump's lead over potential rivals like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has only grown. In the face of adversity, Trump's lead over potential rivals like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has only grown. Oddly enough, his trials have served as a rallying point for GOP voters and representatives, bolstering his dominance in the Republican primary. Oddly enough, his trials have served as a rallying point for GOP voters and representatives, bolstering his dominance in the Republican primary. These same trials have thrown a wrench in his opponents' plans, stunting their ability to build their profiles with voters. Yet, we must remember that politics is a game of unpredictability. History has shown us that legal troubles can be a double-edged sword. In the case of former President Jimmy Carter, adversity in the primary turned into defeat in the general election against Ronald Reagan. So, while Trump's legal battles may have boosted his standing within the GOP, they could also potentially harm his chances in a general election. But as we've seen in the past, legal troubles could swing either way, potentially harming Trump's chances in a general election. While Trump dominates the limelight, let's not forget about the potential dark horse, Nikki Haley. This formidable Republican presidential candidate has pledged her support for Trump should he win the 2024 GOP nomination. A surprising turn, given her previous declaration that she wouldn't run if Trump did. But Haley's change of heart wasn't without reason. The U.S.'s withdrawal from Afghanistan and a surge in illegal border crossings have played a significant role in her decision. As a leader, she's had a complex relationship with Trump, sometimes siding with him, at other times, not so much. It's a dynamic that has seen her describe the events of January 6th as a sad day in America, expressing disappointment in Trump's actions. But Haley's not just making waves within the party, she's also caught the attention of GOP donors and top business leaders. Despite Trump's dominance in national and state polling, there's a growing belief in Haley's potential to rise to the top. Figures like JP Chase CEO Jamie Dimon have been particularly impressed by her policy knowledge. However, it's not all smooth sailing. The GOP's top donors are divided. Some are resigned to Trump's nomination, while others believe that an agile candidate like Haley could overtake him. There's no doubt that Haley's polling surge among GOP voters has stirred up the pot, leading some to believe that Trump's nomination can be stopped. Will the GOP donors gamble on Haley pay off, or will they have to resign themselves to Trump's nomination? Meanwhile, in the White House, President Biden grapples with a surge in violent crime. It's a growing concern, one that's casting a long shadow over the administration. The president's response? A comprehensive crime reduction strategy. This involves a series of executive actions, all focused on reducing gun crimes. A bold move, but one that is necessary in these challenging times. Now, let's delve a little deeper. The increase in violent crimes, particularly those involving firearms, has been attributed to the easing of pandemic restrictions and the advent of warmer weather. As people emerge from their homes, the crime rates have unfortunately soared. This surge poses a potential political threat for the Democrats in the upcoming midterm elections. The stakes are high, and the pressure is on. In response to this, Biden is calling on Congress to enact new gun control laws. This includes confirming David Chipman as the nominee to lead the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. The aim? To link federal law enforcement resources with state and local governments, and to improve community engagement and violence intervention programs. But it's not just about law enforcement. Biden's infrastructure proposal includes funding for community-based violence prevention programs. It's a shift in focus, moving from punitive measures to preventive ones. This approach, however, is not without controversy. Biden's history with crime legislation, including the controversial 1994 crime bill, has been politically complicated. So, here's the question. Will Biden's approach to crime reduction resonate with the public, or will this issue further complicate the already complex political landscape? As we head into 2024, the political landscape is more unpredictable than ever. We've seen a paradoxical surge in support for former President Donald Trump, despite his legal troubles. His trials have rallied GOP voters and representatives, putting him on a path that could lead to a third presidential nomination. Yet, his legal battles may also hinder his chances in a general election. On the other side of the Republican spectrum, Nikki Haley's growing support within the party brings an added layer of complexity. Despite Trump's dominance in national and state polling, Haley's policy knowledge and political agility have impressed key GOP donors and top business leaders, suggesting the possibility of a shift in the party's nomination. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden grapples with a surge in violent crime across the nation. His comprehensive crime reduction strategy and push for new gun control laws will undoubtedly play a significant role in his administration's political standing leading up to the midterm elections. In this tumultuous political climate, only one thing is certain. The road to 2024 will be a political roller coaster. Stay tuned for more updates on these developing stories.